pain will run down. Got to, and you're around.
Hey everybody, welcome to New Music 30, that show that brings you a weekly dose of what's going on in the Indianapolis music scene and all around the area. Tonight we've got a real treat for you. My good buddy, Cole Woodruff. Let's get straight into the interview. Cole Woodruff, thanks for doing the show, man. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
It's good to see your virtual face.
A lot of these have started just because of the nature of how I kind of went about getting people to do this. Obviously, I play around just enough to know a bunch of singer-songwriters. Made it real easy to just, call a few people up, but, message a few people and go, hey, what's going on? So I've been starting with where did we meet? Do you recall?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's crazy. Cause it's kind of like you're one of those guys that's you've just always kind of been around. I'm sure it was at Books and Brews.
Right. That seems to be the common thread here. Of course it is. That's where where I've done so much, spent a lot of time in that place, not to mention, tried to do something musically there and bring people together and do all that, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's totally been the common denominator. It's I showed up at your open mic one night or something like that. Has been.
Yeah. I think I went back when Tommy was still hosting and you were there, and then I don't know, I'm sure you probably jumped up and sang harmony with me randomly at some point, and then we're like, hey, nice to meet you.
Well, I think I found a video in my memories not too long ago where it was you and Jeff Kelly at open mic doing Walls, where he sang half of it.
Yeah.
And then you did a harmony thing back, on each other's verse or something.
If you have that video, I want to see that, because Jeff and I still talk about that night, because I think that was the first time we ever sang Walls together ever.
Right. Yeah, that was the first time I remember hearing it. So
yeah, we just randomly did it that night. He just came up, and I'm telling you, we still talk about it. Jeff will be thrilled to know if you have that video, because
I think I have the whole. I think I've recorded all of it. It was, it wasn't just hey, here's a 1 minute Instagram version. No, I think I have the whole song. It popped up in my memories, and it was one of those things where I went, gosh, I kind of remember that happening, but I had no memory of the fact that I had recorded it. Word. All right. So yeah. So we're going to start with Dirty. I watched everything. See what you've been doing lately. This is from your newest EP. Are these?
Yeah. That's Yeah, that's crazy to think about it, but yeah, that's the last actual album that I kind of released. Anything at least online. Yeah, I did it. I recorded it at Whisper Studios with Jeremy Mang in Kokomo, who I've worked with a few different times. I did my new side project. I worked with Jeremy on that as well at Whisper. And I did this one. It was just I had these songs that I had written, a couple brand new songs, and I really liked them. They were some of my favorite songs that I've ever written. And I had a couple older ones that were kind of more acoustic. It was just stuff that I didn't really feel like full band was on. It was just more of a songwriter thing. And so I just threw it on an album just because I wanted to get it out, and then I'm actually working on a full band version of Dirty that'll be on my full length album at the end of the year here. Nice. So that'll translate too. But yeah, this one was recorded live in Jeremy's studio, and it's to this day, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite song I've ever written. Probably top 3 of my favorites that I've done. So yeah, it means a lot to me.
Sometimes this world can break you down. Everything you give, it can all run out, but you're not alone. No, you're not alone. Sometimes you fall down in the dirt and you forget just what you're worth, but it's not too late. You can beat this thing. So hold me when you get lonely. I don't mind getting dirty sometimes if it keeps you alive. And when you feel like you're all alone and sad, just pick up the phone. I'll be there when you call to tell you I love you. When your rope of life is at an end and you need a friend, I will tie my knot to your fraying mess. When the road below you turns to sand and you start to sink, but regain your feet just to fall again, you can grab my hand and hold me when you get lonely. I don't mind getting dirty sometimes if it keeps you alive. And when you feel like you're all alone and sad, just pick up the phone. I'll be there when you call to tell you I love you. I'll be there when you call to tell you I love you. How's it take?
Awesome.
That was it. Who doggy?
You did that all live. You just Whisper's kind of set up to do that, right? You know, you've got he's got camera stuff there ready to go. It seems like I've seen a few other folks doing like the Whisper sessions or whatever.
Yeah.
Do they have their own like podcasts that they do out of there, or is it just kind of like, hey, we've got this available too if you want to shoot a live video, we can get good audio for you? And
Yeah, Jeremy. So Jeremy runs the studio by himself. It's what he does for a living. He's got little babies and everything, so it's like his main source of income. He's a good friend of mine, amazing recording engineer, amazing musician, amazing singer. And I love working with him. I love just doing stuff with him just because he's just such a great guy. I love supporting him. And he started doing, you know, he records full bands, he records full production. People from Nashville come up and to record at his studio. Like he's got a really solid gig of, you know, recording full bands. And then I started doing acoustic stuff, and being a solo singer songwriter, I mean, I don't have money to record as much as I'd like to.
Sure.
And especially not full band stuff, you know, but I have a wealth of material that I want to get out. And so I asked if he had like a, you know, kind of a cheaper package or something, like just come in and do just a bunch of live takes. And he's got, you know, it's very affordable for what you get. We just went in the studio for one day, just worked for 7 or 8 hours and just recorded everything that we could get. And then he's like, hey, I've been doing some video production. So we started adding that to it as well. He has a YouTube channel, Recording Studio Loser, I think is what it's called, and it's really cool. He goes over like all of his little tricks that he does for his setups and stuff. So if you're a recording engineer person and you want to get into something like that, like Jeremy's videos are just they're awesome. He makes them real fun, does a really good job. But then I started telling all my Indianapolis friends, because I know a lot of people who they're great songwriters, but they just haven't gotten any music out for whatever reason. They don't have the motivation or they don't have the funds. And I've just really been trying to push people, hey, go to Jeremy. It's pretty affordable. He'll get you some good content. And I selfishly want to hear their songs, recorded, so I'm pushing people like we push David Garza all the time. Hey, get something out. Yep. So yeah, I definitely recommend him to anybody, especially if you're, a singer-songwriter and want to get something out there.
The next one, Why Did You Let Me Go? Why did you let me go, Cole? Why'd you do that? I know you did.
Well, you know me, I'm just a sad bastard songwriter. That's what I do. It's kind of my thing. I'm kind of like this song is it's going to be on the new album I'm releasing at the end of the year. This album, I've just kind of abandoned all sense of trying not to steer into the skid of being a sad songwriter. And it's going to the album's going to be called The Sadness. So it's like my band name whenever I play out with the whole band is Cole Woodruff and The Sadness. So this album will be that. And it's just, I've just kind of given up on trying to make the perfect album. There's that I like to go off the old country trope of you do an upbeat song and then you do a ballad, then you do an upbeat song, then you do a ballad. And it's kind of back and forth through the whole album, to the end. And this album, I was like, you know what? This is just going to be a lot of sad songs. I don't really have an upbeat song on this album. And it's purposely like that. And I really don't care if that doesn't fit the trope or if people enjoy it. I don't know. Because I kind of steered into the skid. I had for so long, people were like, you need to write an upbeat song. You need to write an upbeat song. And I released a song called Summer Nights, and then I released a song called Little Faith that were both upbeat, and nobody listened to them. The streams on Spotify was horrible. They don't get any play, and I'm just you know what? As much as I like those songs, I don't care. I'm making an album that I want to make this time, and I'm just gonna release a bunch of sad songs, and it's gonna be called The Sadness, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And if you don't want to listen to it, fine. But we're gonna be sad. I like to be sad. I'm gonna be sad.
Why won't you talk to me? Tell me what's on your mind. I need to hear your voice. I've made it this far in life without a hand to hold. Now it's all that I want. Never felt a thing inside. Build my walls so high till I let you in. Now I'm feeling this song. talk to me? Tell me what's on your mind. I feel you slipping away. And I'm sorry if I might seem a little less than kind. I'm just trying to hold on. For the first time in my life, I feel like I am home. Please don't take that away. I'm feeling this so hard. I'm feeling this so hard. I'm feeling this so hard. Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go? Why won't you talk to me? Tell me what's on your mind.
I call this song the song that I stole from Jeff Kelly. So my story about that is I was coming to town one day when I still lived out of town. I was coming to town to do something, and Jeff was like working late. He asked me to let Moose out for him, so I went over to Jeff's house. I let Moose out, and then I was just sitting in Jeff's living room, and I picked up his Martin, and I just started playing on it. And then I wrote that song with Jeff's guitar just right there in his living room. And I told Jeff, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, man, but I picked up your guitar and I stole the song from it. You know, like that would have been your song. You would have came home that night, you would have picked up that guitar, and that song would have came out. But unfortunately, I stole the song right out of the guitar from you. So, so I would say that's the song I stole from Jeff Kelly. So Why Did You Let Me Go? That was done with Brandon Guys.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
Creative Guys.
Yeah.
And that's, this is another one. This is another one of those plugs we can do. Like there's just so many people who are just willing to help out the local music scene. I mean, Brandon Guys has always been someone who's just been crazy supportive of me and everybody. And we went over to his house. I was just like, hey, I just want to do something to stay relevant online during this quarantine thing, and we're not playing music anymore. So I've just been trying to make, content to release online. And so Brandon and I just threw up a backdrop in his basement, and then we just shot this video, and it's just, he's got his own signature look. Whenever I see a video, I'll be scrolling through Facebook and I'm like, I bet that's a Brandon Guy's video. I'll pull it up.
Right.
That's Brandon Guys. So yeah, this one we did with Brandon, I'm really happy how it turned out. It was just kind of, I think it just took one or two takes we did, and it was just, very raw, just capture the moment, capture the song.
Sure. All right. Talk about this new project you got going on. Got a little duo action.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really excited. This is some of my favorite stuff I've ever done. So the first band I was ever in, I grew up in Frankfort, Indiana. I didn't know a lot of people. I started playing music and did a lot through like my church and stuff. And so I had another church friend who was like starting a band, and I could barely play bass. And I was like, okay, I'll be your bass player. And so like he was a songwriter, and he was kind of the front man of everything. And I was still kind of trying to learn to sing a little bit, and I was kind of writing songs. And then like we went in, we played, you know, for a couple of years just playing his music that he'd written. And then he and I became like really close friends. And then we just started writing music together. And then it kind of became more than the band that we were in. It was just a fun high school band that we did. Like I was still in high school coming into college and stuff. And so it was just like, we just wanted to make noise and be screamo and do all that kind of stuff. And then like we started writing more serious songs that were very melodic, that had, you know, intricate like harmonies. And then we had just like some of the best lyrics I've ever written, some of the best songs I've ever written has come from working with this guy. His name's Ryan Haynes. He's from Lafayette. And he and I, we both worked third shift at a factory. So we're working night shift. And what we would do is we would text each other lyrics, like while we were working. Like I would text a line to him, and then he would text the next line, and then I would text the next line. So we went back and forth line by line, like trying to, you know, write songs, like just, you know, because that's what happens when you work night shift and you do monotonous labor. And then it got to where I was writing all these riffs. I mean, I'm not really known as a guitar player. I'm not a guitar player. I classify myself as a guitar player, but I wrote some of my favorite riffs that I've written, some of my favorite guitar parts that I've written that were just kind of not like what I normally do. And so I would record a demo of them, put them all on a CD. I'd give it to him, and he would listen to them in the car on the way to work. And then he would start writing lyrics for him and write a melody. And then he would send me the lyrics. I'd finish some of it. And we just wrote songs like that back and forth. And he has, he's got a family. He started, you know, having kids and stuff. And he's got 3 kids now, but, you know, he was having kids. And so like, we didn't really have a lot of time that we could get together, and we kind of lived further away. So we would write songs like that. We would write back and forth, sending audio and like complete the songs. Then we would try to get together for one day for like 3 hours and work on them as quick as we could for whatever little time we had. And we did that for several years. Like these songs have been written for a while, and we have way more than what we got to record. But finally we got to a point where I was like, hey, you know, back to Jeremy Mang. I was like, hey, Jeremy, you know, he knows Jeremy. We played music with him. I said, hey, Jeremy's got a studio. We could get in there. We could just knock these out in one day. Like, let's do this. I've been wanting to record these for so long. And so finally we put together, you know, we went together on, you know, splitting the costs and everything, got into the studio. We recorded 6 tracks. It took us, I mean, it was maybe 7 hours. We recorded 6 tracks. Most of them were almost 1 or 2 takes, you know, like we did it real quick. He sings and plays keys. I play acoustic and I sing. We do a lot of harmony stuff. And it's just a different sound. It's not like anybody's really doing right now. I mean, you got the 2 Jasons. I can't really think of too many other like male duos who like, you know, do intricate harmonies and stuff like that. Like,
extreme mediocrity got a place but on me. What could it be? Tagging, kissing your sister once again. Why do I exist here? Striving not to strive, not quite dead, not quite alive. Blinking of my eye, not quite wet, not quite dry. Slowing of my heart, but not quite a flat line. We're untouchable. Beautiful complacency. Tight hands and feet keep up from mouths, which makes for few enemies. Warm bed, quiet head, ignorance is alive. Don't look at me and judge me. You know you love me, hug me. I'm living my life in spite of you. I'm cry, slowing up my heart, but not quite a flat line. We're untouchable.
And then the sound we have is just, it's so different. It's different than anything that I've done. So it's not sad bastard music. It's, you know, it's like, it's kind of like 90s alternative, except it's all acoustic and like, you know, and we did it and did a couple videos for it. And I mean, I'm so proud of how it turned out. And I wish it would catch on and a lot of people would enjoy it so we could do more and maybe do some full band stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, we're gonna release a full length or a six song EP. July 31st is when it came out. You can find it on Spotify, all the platforms. But we called it Silverline Shadows. And yeah, we got 6 songs, you know, are out there in 2 videos. So
Sweet.
we're very influenced by I mean, it's like the Chris Cornell influence. Like that's kind of our biggest influence. We're both big Matchbox 20 fans, so it's kind of in that same vein, you know.
Yep.
Writing like kind of catchy pop songs, but with these Chris Cornell type melodies that are just kind of like ominous and haunting, and then just very thought-provoking lyrics. It's just the lyrics are very like introspective. They deal with, you know, a lot of different, you know, just like struggles with faith and you know, just the world, like just I don't know, it's very human, like humanity driven, like looking in it yourself kind of lyrics and stuff.
Sure.
So and Ryan's one of my closest friends. Like he's the best songwriter I know. He's, you know, one of the best like singers and I mean he's just like he's so good. I'm so glad to work with him. I'm just glad I've gotten him to kind of start playing, you know, being able to you know, play out and everything. So
Sure.
I mean, it's bad timing with the quarantine, but hopefully we'll be able to maybe do some shows down the road and you know, do it, like present them live too. And like I said, we have probably like 10 or 12 other songs that we, you know, have written together that, you know, we haven't shared. So there's definitely more where it came from. So if people like it, if people listen to it, if we, you know, maybe make a little bit of money off of it, it would help sustain to do more. So
Sure.
it all kind of depends on how it's received. So I hope that people enjoy it so we can keep doing it.
List off all the places that the folks can find you online. You know, got the Spotify. Is that all under Cole Woodruff, or what's going on?
Yeah. So yeah, I have my my website, colewoodruffmusic.com. I mean, that'd be the most central place to find everything. But I'm on I'm on Spotify, iTunes, you know, Google Play, Apple Music, all that stuff, all the normal platforms. Cole Woodruff Music on YouTube. So I have a lot of if you like my covers and stuff, that's kind of where all my covers are. That's kind of where those live. I have I mean, I have a few videos and stuff on there. So I'll have like the video for Dirty, the video for Why Did You Let Me Go, are both on my YouTube channel. In addition to that, I think I'll have to check. I don't know. I think I have like over 300 other covers. It's packed full of stuff. So yeah, YouTube is a good place to go. Cole Woodruff Music on Facebook, Instagram. I'm active on all those. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it so much. But
Right.
yeah, for right now, it's just going to be online stuff. Like I'm working on, you know, we're just working on releasing things. You know, I had the Silverline Shadows stuff that I just put out. I'll have, you know, the next my next full length album here. Hopefully by the end of the year. I'm hoping by the winter time that'll be ready. I'll probably do a couple singles. I'm gonna have a friend of mine do a lyric video for one of my songs. So just trying to put together some online stuff to keep an online presence, because I don't really plan on, you know, doing a whole lot of gigs out right now. I'm working right now on the album. Jim Bailey is who I'm recording with, Velvet Lounge Studios in Irvington. Jim, I've worked with Jim on most of my stuff other than with Jeremy. So I did my full length album with Jim, Love Wars EP with Jim. This new album we're working on, it's going to be super cool. So I'm ready for that, definitely.
Sir, I think we've got everything we need.
Cool.
Thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
An hour or so here in the middle of your, what is it? It's Friday afternoon.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm my day off, so I've just been kind of hanging out today. Sounds good. Thanks, Brent. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. See you next time.
Yeah, you too.
That's all we got for you tonight, folks. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the whole show. Make sure you go back and check out some of the previous interviews that I've done. We have a full-on YouTube channel, so go find that. It's just under New Music 30 Show. Go find us, watch us on YouTube, subscribe, don't miss a single episode. We have a brand new one for you every single week. Thanks for hanging out tonight. You're the biggest rock stars of all. Special thanks to Mr. Cole Woodruff for being on the show. We'll see you again next Saturday. I'm Brent Schlemmer. This has been New Music 30.